Welcome, all you anime dad dudes. This is Riley, the anime dad, talking, and it's a beautiful day in paradise. And I hope it's a beautiful day where you live, because if it's not, it's, that's saying something about your personality. Now, it's always a beautiful day where Bjorvio is, and he is my co host. Say hello.
Hello, everyone, and it is quite beautiful here. I'm not gonna lie, very, very beautiful. If you like nonstop, consistent rain for days on end, because that's basically what we've had here. But you know what? Like you said, it's about your attitude. It could be a lot worse. There's something beautiful about the rain. Let's be real. Everyone takes the best snaps when it's raining,
Heck yeah, I love the smell of rain
right?
on grass, or the smell of rain. It's got that distinct smell that I want to buy in the candle if it's not a candle smell already.
Right? I used to just sit down on the balcony and watch like thunderstorms hit off way in the distance. Probably wasn't the safest thing to do, but my goodness, when you see that crack of lightning channeling across the sky, you're like, man, that's so beautiful. Someone just unlocked Super Saiyan 3.
You know what I used to do? I used to stand on top. We had a really tall tower in my town, and I used to climb up there every time it got stormy or thundery. And I took a coat hanger and I'd hold it up, and just to see if it was my lucky day. I was I was shocked three times, and every time I bought a lotto ticket and lost. After obviously my 2 week long coma, um, but it was good experience. That's what it was. Now let's get into our random questions. We got three random questions that we improvise every week, and it's exciting, it's fun, and it's something that we don't think about beforehand, and we just do it randomly. So maybe I can go first.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you were a thundercloud, and let's say you were floating over the Pacific Ocean,
Uh-huh.
all right, your name is Thunder, Thunder, Thick Thunder, and one day, while you're floating over the ocean, a electric dragon flies by. What's your conversation with that electric dragon like?
I'm sorry, I'm still not up for that name. That's incredible. My name, so I see this electric dragon. I'm like, hey, hey, electric dragon. I'm double T, thick thunder. I just wanted to say you look beautiful tonight. I hope you're causing a lot of thunderstorms and stay thick, baby. Stay thick thunder, you know?
I think I think we
Oh,
changed
that's
my name
glorious.
from Anime Dad to Thick Thunder. I think that would work really well. Thick
Oh,
Thunder.
that please do. I would write you every day.
All right. On the topic of thick, if you were drinking a thick milkshake and it was beautiful, it was full of boba and chocolate pieces. Uh, where would you be in the world, and who would be next to you?
Bro, you know I'd be in New Zealand. You
Yeah.
know we would just be. And here's the thing, you'd be beside me and we'd be in a hobbit hole
Hmm.
because there is nothing cozier than a hobbit hole. It even says so in the first chapter, I think it's the first sentence or two of The Hobbit. So why
True.
would we be anywhere that's not as cozy as a hobbit hole drinking something refreshing with thick thunder flying off in the distance?
Get out of here, Thick Thunder. Great, great. Final question. Let's say Espeon was your Pokemon of choice. Okay,
Okay.
you're in Ash Ketchum's village. Ash comes along and wants to battle you, but Team Rocket pops out from behind a bush and does their slogan. What Pokemon are you pulling out next once Espeon gets taken down?
If they've taken down Espeon, I need to bring out the big guns. So this is no job for Squirtle, okay? This would obviously be a job for one of my other favorite Pokemon, Ampharos.
Oh, Okay, I'm gonna look that up. I forget which one, what he looks like.
So it's the evolution of Mareep, the electric sheep Pokemon, and then it goes into Flampy, and then it goes into Ampharos, which is like it's kind of like a sheep but without the wool. It's got like a tail that lights up. So a lot of times they're used in lighthouses and kind of thing. But man, it can bring the thick thunder if you know it is powerful.
Heck to
I
the
cannot
yeah.
believe I incorporated that into all three of my answers.
That's I'm gonna have to do that as well, actually. Then, okay, what are your questions?
Okay, so while we're on the topic of Pokemon, there is one Pokemon that it has mixed reviews. It's called Lickitung, and then it evolves into a Pokemon that's fairly universally hated called Licky Licky. If you were to name a Pokemon in the same style as Licky Licky, what would your Pokemon name be?
Great work. Mine would be uh, um, thicky, and it'll be the evolution of yeah. What was that? What was that?
Thick Thunder.
The evolution of Thick Thunder. So it'll be Thick Thunder, and then Thicky, and it'll definitely be more popular than Licky.
Oh, it don't take much. All right. Question number two. In Demon Slayer, there are multiple people that use katanas, and most of them are pretty dope. Um, Obviously, as we've discussed, my favorite is Zenitsu. So my question is, if you were to introduce somebody to Zenitsu that you would want him to be very nice to, but it's not a girl, who would you pick?
Hmm. Now, I've got a theory that if Hinosuke in, met Zenitsu without his mask initially, you'd be best friends. His facial features are incredible. You know, Inosuke's facial features are he's got a beautiful face, lovely eyes. You know, he's a very attractive boar human, and Zenitsu would definitely jump on board. And I think I think Zenitsu would have a new breathing style if when he saw Inosuke at that particular time without his mask, he'd go six under breathing style fourth.
Thunder
and
breathing, ninth style, ninth form, thick thunder.
yes, oh my
Look at that,
goodness.
Nezuko! I finally learned a new breathing technique.
If that was included in the new demons, that needs to be included.
Right? Oh my gosh. All right. Final question. So, with video games, the most consoles, the easiest one to keep up with is PlayStation because they go one, two, three, four, five.
Mm.
Xbox, I have no idea what order they go in. I just kind of make it up. And then there's the Nintendo system, where they went from things like the Wii to the Wii U to the Switch. Um, and I've heard rumors they're working on a new console. What is the name of this console, and what does it do that's different from other Nintendo consoles?
Now, actually, I've got the privilege of being a Nintendo tester, so they send me a the console like months in advance before it's released. So I actually know this. I've signed a non-disclosure agreement, but I'm going to tear that up for this conversation. Now, the new console is they've teamed up with a Starlink's creator, Elon Musk, and they are gonna inject it into your brain. And what it does when you want to activate it, you push your nose. It pops out in almost like a cloud shape around your head. It's called Thick
Huh.
Thunder, obviously, because I wanted to include that into my final answer. But the cloud shape goes around your eyes as well, and then that's how you play. It's an incredible system. Obviously, there's side effects. I've had diarrhea since last Tuesday, and
Hmm.
I don't recall my last name anymore. But it's a great console. I had a lot of fun playing on it.
See, the nice thing about not knowing your last name is you can make it whatever you want to be. So you can just be, the anime dad Thick Thunder for all you know.
Oh my goodness, the anime dad TT.
T squared.
T squared. I think I've got a chicken inside my studio, but that's okay. He just wants to listen. Who doesn't want to listen to the Anime Doodad podcast? It's incredible. You
I
can
have no
listen.
idea. Not with question. I will say I have never laughed this hard in one of those. When you busted out Thick Thunder, I was not expecting that, but man, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna only call Zenitsu that from now on.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
And Pikachu.
And Pikachu. Oh my goodness, Thick Thunder's definitely Pikachu's name.
Especially
Um,
like season one Pikachu when he was, like he was definitely a little bit more rounder back then than he is currently. So, that makes sense.
it
Now he's just
does.
Thunder.
Okay, well, today we're going to talk about duos. Now, the best duo of all time, obviously, is the Anime Dad and Bjorvio, but
Obviously.
second best duo in all of anime, or our best versions today. Now, this does change from week to week because we
Yep.
are anime fans. We love anime, we're immersed in anime, and one week we might feel like this particular duo is better than the other, but I've got a feeling today that we're on the same page. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I've got a feeling today that our duo, the best duo in anime that we think this week, is the same. Do you feel the same or are you different?
I honestly think we did pick probably the same. I struggled with this one. I mean, I messaged you today like we've been thinking about this for so long, and finally I came to a conclusion today, and it was soul searching, it was gut wrenching, but in the end I really think we picked the same. And if we didn't, we'll explain it. If we did, for me it's kind of like a tie between two, and I'll explain that once we get a little bit more into it.
Okay. Should we do an honorary mention before we get into the main thing? Maybe you can do an honorary mention of who you thought was on your list roughly, and I'll do the same.
Oh, okay. Okay. So there was one that in the process of thinking of consistently over and over again, for me, I went through a lot of duos and I went through a lot of anime to find a lot of duos. And one of them that's kind of surprised me that I actually really like is Riza Hawkeye and Colonel Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Okay. That is good. That is really good. And why did you feel they were good?
Because they are the like definition of leaning on each other. No one's like, yes, Colonel Mustang is higher ranked than she is, but she basically runs the two of them. They keep each other in line, they help each other out, and they literally put each other's lives in their hands multiple times. And the other one doesn't blink. They don't even have to talk. They just know what they need to do and they do it. And it's
Hmm.
like that is a really good team. And I know you've been watching Brotherhood, and so you'll see what I mean later on. There's something that connects them
Hmm.
that nobody else understands. And
Okay.
also, it's not like, a lot of times when you have like a man and a woman, they're kind of like, oh, well, I have this love for this person, and that doesn't really happen with them. It's just they're two people, and it's actually kind of refreshing if we're being honest.
I like that. I like that a heck of a lot. I didn't even think of them. I was thinking of a combination of people on my list. Zoro and Luffy were high up
Yep.
there. They're incredible at what they do. The loyalty Zoro has for Luffy. They work together quite well. Um,
Yep.
I didn't think of anyone in the Dragon Ball verse other than maybe Gohan and Piccolo
Uh-huh.
because their teamwork is very good. But Goku and Vegeta are quite solo in their battles. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
they are.
solo a lot of the time. Um, what other your Spy Family didn't have
Spy
a duo
Family.
that I
Yep.
could think of. So, but
It's
there
really the
were
whole family in Spy Family. It's hard to pick just two from that. Or even
yeah.
like Demon Slayer, like Tanjiro and Nezuko. I mean, yes, but no.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. Yeah, I mean they definitely were there, but the one that I think we got the same is Ed and Al from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Actually, no.
No.
No. And I really contemplated Ed and Al a lot, but I actually kind of chose against it.
Whoa. Okay. Well, let me explain to you why I felt. Now, I'm a newbie to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and like I've been keeping Bjorvio up to date with my watching, and my mind has been blown numerous times. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a few aspects to this that I really like. Now, the first one is the realism of their relationship. You know,
Yes.
they're brothers. It's real. They've got that love for each other, um, but also in other anime, brothers and siblings seem to fight quite a bit. They don't fight as much as other anime siblings. They've got a couple of arguments that they've had, but they've got each other's back at all
For
times.
sure.
And that's really, really special. Their fighting ability as a team is increased tenfold. They've got an incredible teamwork, and they're very, very good at what they do together. Their motivation and mindset towards achieving their goal is, again, in sync, on point. When they get down, the other one lifts them up. And my final point is they've always had each other's back. They've always been together, really, and they've always, since um, they were young, had basically only each other to lean
Yeah.
upon in a lot of ways. So they've got that major love for each other. They've got a strong mindset that they keep lifting each other up from, and they, in regards to fighting and skill, they've got incredible combo moves now and again as well. So that's why I chose them as this week's best anime duo.
And I don't think you're wrong with this. I mean, Ed and Al are also up there as some of my top as well because they're so connected. They don't need to communicate. Even like take the scene at the fifth laboratory where Ed has to sneak in to get something and Al's outside. Ed gets in a fight and when he's getting overwhelmed, the other guy's like, "Oh, well, my partner's outside and he's not as weak as me." And Ed's like, well, then I have nothing to worry about because Al can take him. I've never beaten him. You know, that is such a strong shows how great of a connection they have. They don't need to be next to each other. They just know the other person's going to get the job done. And
Heck yeah.
they always have each other's back. They always do. It's wonderful. They're really really good brothers and they sacrifice a lot for each other. Like I really don't think there's many that there's literally only one team I could think of that beat them.
Yeah, in regards to they're very, very funny together as well.
Yes.
I know I'm up to a point where I don't know the full story, so um I've got that I'm in that weird zone. But one thing that was said that you'll understand, Bjorvio, is Al was saying to Ed, he was saying, oh, maybe you're eating for both of our bodies, or maybe you're,
Mm-hmm.
drinking or sleeping for both of our bodies. So it seems like if it goes down that particular path, uh, they've got more than they've got a real massive connection in that sense. They're basically one person in that way. But I don't know what happens
Yeah.
moving forward from there.
There is a scene where their connection is put like not put to the test, but Ed does something for Alphonse, and you're not that far away from this scene that I'm thinking of. It brings me to tears every time that I see it. It's just like And it's one of those only Ed could have done it, and only Ed would have done it only for Alphonse.
Mm.
And it's like they're a great duo. They really are. And quite honestly, if you asked me tomorrow, or if you showed me the end of Brotherhood, I might change my answer and probably would.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, it just
Like,
depends on
it's
the day.
nothing set in stone.
Like we said. Yeah. All right. Who's your duo then?
Well, if we're gonna have to go off mine, let me introduce myself. Hi everyone. Hi Mizuka Midoriya, and my name's Katsuki Bakugo, and we're his final selection. That probably sounds a little weird to you, but hang on, I'm sure I'll explain it, you dang nerds.
Great choice and very well said. I didn't even. I should. I mean, they were definitely super high on my list if I just considered it more. Very good choice. Why are they your favorite duo at the moment?
Well, the thing is, if we're going based off just the anime, Ed and Al beat them. There's no doubt. Not by not by a huge margin like what everyone's thinking, but I love their development where in the first episode Kachan is like, "You can get a quirk if you want to, Deku. Just jump out the building and hope you get one in your next life." He said, and that threw me off. Like I almost stopped watching the series because of that, because I'm like, that is so stinking rude. But I kept going, and you find out much later on why Bakugo's this way, why he's been doing this to Deku all these years. And like as they progress, they go from enemies to friends to rivals, I guess, then to friends that are still rivals and picking each other up. And in the manga, without spoiling anything, this is taken to a whole new level that I wasn't expecting at all. And to me, the fact that they've had such tremendous growth from where they started to where they are, you know, looking at things like Bakugo and Deku fighting Shigaraki at the same time in season 6, they really relied on each other and depended on each other in ways that we just couldn't even couldn't anticipate. But then also later on, you know, it's kind of like they're doing it almost in second nature. They're helping each other out without even thinking. They know what each other's going to do. And I think that is beautiful to see these two kids that grew up together learn how to work together to the point they don't even have to talk. They, and in doing so, they're making themselves better and each other at the same time. That is wonderful. And in a very similar way to what Alphonse and Edward do, where they kind of build each other up at the same time. But Ed and Al don't really focus on getting themselves better. They're more so focused on like, oh, we need to get each other better at the same time. While Deku and Bakugo are like, I need to get better. And then also, well, I guess I'll help them at the same time to get better. It's really, there's a lot going on with this friendship, and I think it's absolutely beautiful the way that they have just evolved to the relationship they have now. It wasn't just something that happened, it was 100% they worked for. And I think it's a wonderful story of two friends making each other better.
Very, very well said. That's good. That is very, very good. And you're right. It's complex. It's unique. It's very different. And I cried my eyes out at one of those new scenes where he calls Bakugo called Deku Zuku or
Yeah,
oh, I cried my eyes out. It's an incredible friendship, and it's a friendship. It's a duo that's given me goosebumps over the last few months. So very, very good choice. I like that we were different again. I didn't expect that.
I agree. It was, it's fun when we're the same, but it's also fun when we're different. And
Mm.
it's, because, you brought up, I should have brought up Ed now, but that's really cool. And then Bakugo and Deku was like, oh, and then it's cool because I don't think either one of us are really wrong
No,
because we both brought up such a good point, and both of these duos are just chef's kiss.
they are chef's kiss. Now it's actually a. We won't do any improv today because of timing factors, and those questions that we had were just too absolutely beautiful. But could you potentially give Six Thunder a voice for me and take us out? Would that be a possibility you could do, Bjorvio? Give him a voice.
I'm not sure you're ready for it, but I think I got a voice.
Okay.
Why, hello. I am Thick Thunder, and I am so pleased that you took the time to listen to the Anime Doodads podcast. Come back next week where we have a tremendous episode planned. Will I make an appearance? Oh, yeah. Thank you all so much for listening, and go beyond less
That's
ultra.
right. That was exactly what I expected. See you, everyone.
Bye.